Hello everyone, my name is Patrick Marks and I'm very thankful to be here. We're going to be doing an interview today with my lovely wife, Sarah Marks, who we're going to be calling Sarah Gray, which is her maiden name, so that we can differentiate in the transcript. But we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to talk about a few different things about her business, and we're going to go ahead and get started right now. Hello Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I am well. So what we're gonna do today is I wanna talk to you about your business. So you've been doing this business for a while, so kind of tell me, what's the name of your business, how long you've been doing it for, just give me a little rundown.
So the name of my business is Fully Rooted Plant Boutique, and we have been established since 2021, and I specialize in uncommon and rare tropical house plants.
Wow, tropical house plants. Wow. So, what inspired you to start your business? Like, what was the initial motivation to get into something like tropical plants?
Well, it was my hobby, and so I spent a lot of time doing my hobby, and I love it. And I thought, well, why not turn it into a business and do something that I love and also make money while doing it? So, I mean, it's the dream, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I am your angel investor, so that probably helps a little bit. I have a little bit of biased opinion about your business, but it's always good to know more. So, what has been your biggest challenge when you started the business, and how did you overcome that?
Well, one of the challenges amongst many was when we moved here over a year ago. I lost quite a bit of inventory from Arizona to Texas with a U-Haul full of plants. And that was devastating because not only was it, my business, but my collection, my personal collection was in there as well. So that took a while to, regroup and build the stock back up. And then just learning how to ship the plants because I ship nationwide. So making sure that they're safe, they arrive healthy and in good condition without damage, because postal carriers can be pretty rough on the boxes. So
yeah, no, I remember that I was surprised once you sold a plant to a customer in Alaska in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
And so you had to come up with some solutions on how to get that plant there safely. So, speaking about those decisions, we talked about, really briefly about the decision from moving to Arizona to Texas. When you have to make some of those big decisions, how do you approach that? Do you make a list, like a pros and cons list? Like, how do you approach some of the big business decisions that you've made?
Correct. So I do make a list, maybe not physically on paper, sometimes I do, but I think, how is this going to benefit the business? What are the losses going to be? Is that something that I can accept? Is it something that I can bounce back from? So all those kind of play into it. And the reason why I'm making the decision, because sometimes it may be for personal gain. There may be a certain opportunity for certain plants or something. So I have to keep those two separate in essence.
Awesome. So, when I was first doing research into your business, because I knew absolutely nothing about it, even though I'm married to you, but one of the things that stood out to me was this business is very much a social media driven business. And so, what makes your business model different than the hundreds of others that are doing the same thing?
So there's many scales. Some businesses are big, some are small, some are medium, some are beginning, some have been around for years and years. I try to make sure it's more than just a transaction. I want you to have an experience with me, something that you're gonna remember. We live in a very fast-paced society with tons of machines and technology where you don't get much human interaction. So I still wanna keep that personal connection, and I try to be very responsive. I try to be very genuine because, ultimately I work for the Lord, right? So I want to make sure that transfers into every aspect of my life. So
that's awesome. No, that's a great answer. That's a great
and
answer.
I forgot to say too, I put like thank you cards in the boxes, gifts, certain things like that. So it's not just another sale or a purchase. You're gonna remember when you open my box. You're going to remember that.
So you change it from just a transaction to an experience.
Correct.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, because of the vastness of this community, what was a significant turning point in your business and why? Was it plant related? Was it people related? Tell us a little bit about like when it went from hobby to business.
Well, I was a cosmetologist for several years, and while I loved doing that, it wasn't something that I could see myself doing forever. It's one thing to provide a service or a product, but it's another thing when it's a service on somebody. And so I was good at what I did, but the pressure I just didn't particularly like. And so I still had my hobby at the time, and I think that was the turning point when I was like, you know what, this is what I love doing. This is what I enjoy doing, and I'm gonna put my heart and soul into it, and there's no looking back. So I would say that was probably the turning point. I quit my job as a hairstylist and went into this full throttle.
So making those big decisions and, talking about, setting those different goals, how have you stayed focused on those goals when things get difficult? So the challenges, for instance, when we moved, or when, we lost a lot of, you lost a lot of your inventory. So how have you maintained your focus on your goals, and what are your goals specifically?
I mean, my ultimate goal would be a brick and mortar store. Maybe nothing huge, but again, keeping that connection with people, having certain experiences that you could do at the store. Maybe pick a planter and pick a pot and do the combo there and pot them up. So that would be my ultimate goal. But staying focused, I just try to remember the end picture of my goal. And also, I love what I do. So no matter if I'm challenged or not, I'm still grateful for that opportunity, because I could be out here doing a million different things that I dread every single day. But even my worst day in this business is still probably better than my best day somewhere else. And I try to grow slow. So I stay focused on that.
So how do you balance that work-life balance, especially because your business is at home? You do most of your work online, and then you have a little room that you do all your planty work with, right?
Yes. So I'll tell you, it's a challenge. It's a challenge because you don't leave and go work somewhere for 8 hours and punch out and come home. They are intermingled, and that is a constant struggle to deal with, because your work is right there. So even though you may need to do the dishes or something, and then you realize you have to do something in here, so you are back and forth. Some of the things I implement is I try to set aside certain days. So I have certain shipping days, I have certain watering days. And that's not to say that I don't break that up, or it may get shifted one week. Hey, it's hotter, there needs more watering done, so some other stuff may have to wait, and I have to remind myself that I do work at home, so everything can't be perfect all the time. I mean, it's reality. It's the same as if you leave and go work 8 hours a day at a brick and mortar place somewhere, so scheduling, high planning is a priority.
All right, so planning is a big deal. I see you jotting stuff down in your little calendar every day, and checklists and task lists and stuff like that. So, if someone wanted to get into this business, because again, through my research, I've discovered that social media is the place to start. And so a lot of people began as you did, where you started as a hobbyist, and then you got passionate about it, and then it turned into a business. So if someone was thinking about starting a business here, what advice would you wish someone gave you when you first started?
That's a loaded question. There's so many. One of the top, I would say, would be grow slow and go slow. You'll have the rest of your life to collect plants, to build this business, to do these things. I see a lot of companies and businesses in the plant realm and outside of fall because they explode too quickly. You can't keep up with it. I'm a one-woman show, and life will pull you 50 different ways on top of that. So knowing what is manageable for me right now at this point in my life? What is attainable for me? And so slow growth is good growth. It doesn't have to be get rich quick and all these other things. And also that brings me to my second point. What is your motivation? If money is your motivation, I'm not going to say, you're going to fail or something, but it wouldn't be a good starter. Most of the people in this industry love plants themselves. So it's born from a hobby and then created to an empire.
Well, it's absolutely true, because all the scientific names that you bring out, you tell me, hey, go and see this plant in here, and I'm like, which one? You say the green one. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. So there is certainly a difference in the way that people approach this, the way that they interact with each other in the auctions and in the purges and all the different driven things that you guys do. So speaking about like purges and auctions and some of that online stuff, so what do you have any innovation, and does that innovation play a role in what how successful your business has been thus far?
Yeah, so one of the things that I really love is it's a website called Dolo, and it compiles all your reviews from separate platforms and social media platforms into one central place. So for instance, say you're a new customer, and I mean, in reality, there's scammers in any industry. So, you want to be careful who you buy from, and I have the ability to shoot them a link. That's my Dolo profile that has all of my reviews from different platforms in one place. It shows my packing process. It shows how many stars I have. I have the ability to list plants on there. And it's not just for plants. Like if you have another business, you can still create that Dolo profile. But particularly it's geared toward the plant community. And it is wonderful. I cannot tell you how many first-time buyers say, I bought from you because of this. It's that reassurance. So that's one of the major things that I love.
Well, it's certainly something that we all do when we go to Amazon or we go to Walmart, online. We're like, let me see those reviews. I want to see what those reviews look like. So that's really, really cool. So, last question, and I appreciate all your time that you've given us today. When you think back to where you started, so when you started this little business and in your little grow room back there, what aspect of your business, has the most impact in terms of success? Like what portion of the business that you have, built by yourself, as you're a one-woman show, do you feel has given you the most success?
That's hard to really pinpoint down, but if I could, I would kind of say two. I mean, they're kind of one and the same, but I care. Number one is it's not just a dollar to me. You're not just a Venmo transaction. You're a person who loves this plant, and this is what you like about it and how it grows, and you actually collect only this genus, or things like that. So I love making that connection with people, and they remember that. And it brings repeat business as well, because you want to buy from someone who gets you, who understands you, who loves the same things that you do, and they sell a quality product. But the second thing I think I would say is communication, because I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to buy or purchase plants from people and they don't respond back to you, and I get it, they're busy. I mean, so I get it, but some they just don't have that same level threshold for excellence that I try to keep. So I try to be very quick with my responses. If someone messages me, I try to message them back immediately or as soon as I can. And you'll read about that in my reviews. I try to just provide excellence. Again, I work for the Lord first, and I live to serve Him. So that means I live to serve you as well, my guys.
That's awesome. Well, I'm very thankful. One of the things I have a joy to be able to see you build this personally. So I have a personal stake in this as well, but it was very exciting, and I appreciate you sharing the insights of your business. Again, today we were talking with Sarah Marks with her business, Fully Rooted Plant Boutique. I always say it wrong. So thank you again for your time, and we hope that you enjoyed this. and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Have a good day.